Alright, time for my quarterfinals game of this month's MSEM GP, aka the first top cut game. I'm playing ramp against my opponent who is on Casino Scam, which is a horrible matchup for me because they're a combo deck and my deck cannot meaningfully interact with their deck, and I also don't win fast enough to beat their combo, I feel like. Right. Am I, what's the seeding like? I think I'm higher. Oh no, they're higher. Yeah, apparently they're higher in seating. I think it's like something to do with OM%, whatever that means. But yeah, so that means that I also need to win one game on the draw. This certainly is not a good hand because there's literally no lands. This hand does not have a one-drop ramper, so that's not good. But I want to go down to 5. Like, they're a deck with interaction. I don't want to go down too low because then I'm like really weak to my thing getting answered. But at the same time, like the only way I win is to get an early start. Yeah, I think I'm willing to go down to 5. And I mean, I did get. Oh, actually, I got like the Chronon curve. So basically, bomb these two guys. Hope to flip a land. Crumbling Shrine can't help me find a land. Yeah, I'll keep 5. But like, if this does work out, I do have the nut curve. So there's that. Alright, so I just need a land in the top 2 cards. Hopefully that's doable. Come on. Wonderful. Yeah, okay. So I have... Well, actually, no, Kurnon doesn't do enough currently. I can Kurnon minus... I don't have the land aura, so I can't like Kurnon plus into Ramsey. But I can Kurnon minus to find Tau and naming instant, which will tax all of my opponent's spells. Do I want to keep that in my back pocket instead, though? Oh, right, they could have counter spells. They probably do have counter spells. So the counter spell I need to play around from their deck is Root Corruption, which taxes me for 2, so I can't really play around it. Which means I have like 2 options here. I can jam Kurnon into Root Corruption, get it countered. Next turn I go Ramsey and then try to resolve Vivian afterwards. Plan number 2, I play Ramsey, it gets Root Corruption. Next turn I try... I think it's better to jam Kurnon and then go into Ramsey, right? Because like I guess technically Ramsey is lower value because yeah, Kurnon's really good. But or actually, like if they let Ramsey resolve and I make the token, that means I can play Kurnon next turn through a Root Corruption. Okay, I think I've convinced myself to go Ramsey first. Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully it works out. They let it happen. Alright. So play land and pass. And I assume they end up turn Root Corruption their land then. Yep. So, like, they're going to 4 mana next turn, which is enough for them to combo off. And I can't stop their combo right now. So that is a problem for me. But I can actually, so I can fetch Tau. Tau actually does slow my opponent down by 1 turn. And maybe that's what I'm trying to go for. Like, they're not really incentivized to buy time just yet because they're still at a pretty healthy life total. Oh, they're just going for upkeep buy time. Well, I mean, sure. If they're like, if that's what they're trying to do here, then sure. I think this is actually premature, but because like now I can actually punish them, right? I can turn on sack and grab the towel, and that actually slows them down enough to where I don't instantly lose. I think. So what's the play here? The Kurnon grab towel. So I can go Pale Scatter into Kurnon, right? Is that better than Pale Scatter, sack the land aura, Kurnon, and then grab Tau? I think that's the best play here because it gets Pale Scatter onto the board, and I don't really need the land aura around right now or anything else. Yeah, I think I mean, I might actually just end up winning this game because my opponent prematurely popped buy time. But I'm not complaining. So do this, do this. Play Kurnon, I still technically have 1 mana remaining. Kurnon sack the Nitrous Renewer, grab Tau, naming instant. Does my opponent know that this would happen? Like, because this is, like, they really did not need to buy time right now, right? They could have just waited to see what I did first before doing buy time. Well, now I pass the turn and see if they can combo off. They need to kill Tau first, I think. Or, I mean, they could all or nothing if they pay a bunch for it. Do they not? Oh, I mean, sure, but now you're down to only 1 extra turn. Yeah, like you had to spend your entire turn doing the Unrelenting. So now you just die end of turn, and I don't think you can combo off here with this amount of mana. Unless you have another buy time. Okay, well, yeah, you do. Sure. So I think they're like at the mercy of the top of their deck now. I think, right? They're on their last buy time turn. Sacred Sons is upkeep, right? Yeah. They. All right, cool. Yeah, they miscounted. Yeah, I was thinking about why they buy time so early. I guess like if they assumed that buy time was always going to win there. Well, I mean, so that gets me my first win somehow. Post board, I mean, their entire deck is non-creatures, so I bring in Henry, I bring in Barton. I think I take out Sackbow because there's actually not. Do they have graveyard synergy? They technically do have graveyard synergy with Alchemical Warfare, but I don't think it's worth bringing in Sackbow for that, especially since they don't actually run fetch lands. No, they run lands that get sacked. Like the shifting lands do get sacked, but I don't think it's worth running Rova. I mean, I need Greenwood to actually win the game. I think Ikernon still comes in here. I don't think I need Alton Surveyor. Yeah, Alton Surveyor doesn't do anything in this matchup. So I just take out all my Grave Hate because I guess I'm assuming that this is not the angle I'm fighting on in this matchup. And I just bring in all my non-creature hate. And I keep in one Rova because it's anti-counterspell, I guess. I don't think Rova actually wins fast enough for me to keep this thing in. I'm not sure what else to do here. I guess technically Scion of Silence does something. This thing can name Sacred Songs, which forces my opponent to remove it somehow on the buy time turn, right? Actually, Scion fetching, yes, Scion naming Sacred Songs is actually pretty annoying for them because it forces them to wait. It forces them to have one more mana during the combo turn to kill that thing in addition to playing Sacred Songs. Yeah, maybe it's worth bringing in, but I guess I'll just run this for now. And I mean, I got Primal Interkernon, but so this hand's great if my opponent does not have Root Corruption, and pretty bad if they do. Is it worth keeping just on off chance that this ends up working out? I mean, I don't even have other creatures though, so despite the fact that this is a really good hand, if my opponent doesn't have, it's not even that good. I think I mulligan this. Ugh. Well, I keep this and I hope that it works out. I think I got punished by mulliganing there. I guess I can use this opportunity to fetch Slumbering Hillock. Yeah, I'll use it to fetch Slumbering Hillock because life doesn't matter in this matchup. I mean, I also need to fetch my White Source. Maybe I just fetch my White Source instead of fetching Slumbering Hillock. In which case, then I probably should not have played this untapped. Yeah. And Tal is probably going to get countered, and that's actually fine, right? I want that to happen. Yeah. So am I just not fetching Lumbering Hillock then? I think the Lumbering Hillock, the off chance of Lumbering Hillock actually doing anything is less than the White Source and mattering later on. So yeah, I won't fetch Lumbering Hillock. I'll just grab Forest and part of the Glade. Do I just jam Tau here to get countered? I mean, like that's actually, alternatively I can go Nitrous. Nitrous doesn't curve into anything, right? So yeah, I'll just jam Tau here right now and see what my opponent does. And they do decide to counter it. Cool. So Tau ended up eating up a Root Corruption, which prevents them from ramping this turn. So they play another land and pass. Forest. I jam Recall Forgotten Aeons and get countered, I guess. Like, what's my other option here? Or what am I playing around? It's just counter spells, and if it's just counter spells, then it's either Carnon or Recall. And neither one really, or I guess Recall has higher upside if it resolves, because it technically digs me towards the things I care about. And Nitrous can always come down, like I can always do Carnon Nitrous next turn, or something like that. Or, no, I need to play out Lush always. Okay, so I gave them some free information, but that's fine. Do I have, no, I still have Margaret. So, yeah, I can still prevent the combo from happening next turn if my opponent has exactly buy time in hand right now. So, let's see what Recall does. They let it happen. Cool. Okay, Nitrous isn't doing anything. I jam Primal Resurgence in the hope that it does, like, hope that it resolves. Yeah. They let it happen. Well, what are they doing? I guess they're doing Unrelenting end of turn. No, they're not. Do they not have anything in hand useful? Let's see if they have. Yeah, they do have their fourth land. So their combo is, or they have enough mana for buy time now. We call for kind of Aeons. Okay. They explicitly did not untap Sunrise Bluffs, so I'm still safe here. I can just can do Carnon into Recall. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And I'll just like hold Henry in the back in case my opponent decides to do a buy time turn sometime later. Okay, sure. I mean, I can jam Henry right now, but I still think it's better to just, yeah, it's still better to just recall here. And oh, nice, I got enough lands to make use of Nitrous Renewer. I just dumped my hand here, right? Like, so the way my opponent punishes me is they have Prying Inquiry plus a removal spell for Kernon. That's how they punish me here. I think that's unlikely enough where, or no, they need 2 hand attacks because I have a Kernon plus Henry, so, or like, they need to kill Henry, Nitrous, and Kernon for my hand, and the Kernon on board for me to actually get screwed over here. Or they need to kill the Nitrous on board plus, so they need to kill Nitrous on board plus the Henry in hand to screw me over here. Except I can call this RFE, so like they actually do need to kill the Kernon on board too. Okay, so yeah, there's no way this ends up punishing me. So do I want to fetch Lumbering Haylock? Yeah, sure, why not? Let that happen, and I pass the turn. And they have end of turns things to do, it seems like. So they can't kill Kernon. Like they have removal in their deck that can't kill Kernon. Or they don't have that much removal. Okay, so the only thing that actually kills Kernon out of their deck right now is Fuel Fortifier. Let's see if they do that. Nope, they're just going to Unrelenting for the combo piece. Sure. Or at least I'm assuming they're finding the combo. Yeah, they're finding the combo piece right now. So there actually is a way to punish them really hard here. Or no, I think they've learned from before. They're definitely going to hold the buy time until end of my turn or until my end step to make sure that no funny business happens. But like if they like Kernon stick, I do have the hilarious play of MSEM to grab Margaret Barton, Valerie Kripek. Okay, sure. Actually, if they kill Kernon, or if they kill Kernon, that doesn't do anything. Target Unrelenting. Okay, sure. So I guess they're planning on Unrelenting during my upkeep or something, which I guess, sure. I guess that's something you can do if you want to. Or I need to do. Okay. Do you want to kill Nitrous Renewer now? Okay, they're not going to kill it now. Oh, do I fetch Timber Range? Yeah, sure. I don't really want to draw lands. And I'm just going to fetch Forests for now because I'm out of other things to fetch. Wayfarer Shrine. Okay, that fetches my last basic. So what can I do here? I can kill Valerie Kripek. Is that worth it? Not really. But so I can animate Lumbering Hillock, swing, have enough to cast Henry afterwards. They could no, Unrelenting doesn't do anything for them. Does this target? It doesn't target. Like my play here, like the play I want to make here, or actually, I can minus on the tile to get back. No, that dies to Unrelenting. Actually, something I can do is play Henry and then minus on tile, and then play tile naming instant, which it's as so naming instant, and then that completely blanks my opponent from casting useful spells, and then that costs that still costs too much mana. I think like I do need to get Henry onto the board because, and then I need to get Tau onto the board. And I need to like get. Does my opponent? No, they don't have other modes of Unrelenting. I think I want to get Margaret Barton on board then because that shuts off their other lines. So in that case, okay, yeah, I'm just going to kill Valerie first, and if they have removal, they can use it. But like if they have 1 mana removal, they can use it here. Nope, they're just going to let it die. Cool. Let's see. Like I do need to think about sequencing here. Actually, like I can still, if my things die, I can minus Kernon to bring them back next turn. So that's actually still fine. I guess I jam Henry first. Yeah, in case they have some weird removal things. They let it happen. They're not actually going to do. Okay, this actually can go badly if they Unrelenting in response, because then I'm forced to sack Lumbering Hillock. But that's actually fine because I don't need lands right now. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, this is tutor mode? Okay, sure. I mean, does this still... Oh, they have... I forgot that they had that plan, except it doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure Hate Bears also prevent Megalokraken from free casting things. So yeah, let's see how my opponent deals with 2 mana attacks. Because they're actually in a pretty bad spot here, I think. Are they just going to jam Megalokraken as a creature on board? Because, like, this doesn't do much, right? Or, okay, I mean, that's 2 root corruptions, but yeah, like, this doesn't do much. I guess they can start swinging with this thing, technically, which could be annoying, but it looks like I top decked Vivian, except that Vivian doesn't kill Megalokraken because my guys aren't big enough. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can still jam Vivian. I think I minus Kernon and grab Tau, just to absolutely rub in the fact that my opponent can't cast spells anymore. If I do that, so what? Minus Kernon, grab Tau, and then I can flip Barton too. I might as well flip Barton because then I can block Kraken. Or I think I want to get Vivian into play. Can I get Vivian into play and also cast Tau? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I think it's better to just get Vivian into play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or can I flip Barton and also get Vivian into play? No, I don't think I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? I mean, I still want Kernon to stick around, right? I can do Kernon minus and then Kernon plus afterwards. But then I'm playing. Oh no, I'm only getting taxed for 1 because Barton only hits my opponent's things. So I discount 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can cast Tau afterwards. So that's really good for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Vivian. Plus Vivian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab. Oh. Yeah, grab Greenwood Outrider so I can push lethal next turn. Sure, I guess Vivian makes a thing. Kernon minuses to get Tau back into my hand, and this thing comes down and names instant. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have an easy board wipe here. And yeah, I pass. So I mean, they can swing up Mega Kraken and cast something for 3 if they won't hit something, I guess. What are they swinging at? Oh, I mean, so they can't cast, or no, they can cast their things. They can actually cast Buy Time right now if they want to. Is that, can that let them win? They actually could, right? They won't cast anything interesting. They're not going to cast Sacred Sons either. What are they swinging towards? I guess they're thinking right now, going at you. Oh, do I want to trade anything away? Not really. I mean, if I trade things away, then that means that no, I don't want to trade things away. Like, yeah, technically they can buy time. No, they still can't. They don't have enough mana to buy time through my taxes. Does Greenwood kill next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Greenwood definitely kills. So, like, if they have buy time or something, or if they have some sort of board wipe, right? Okay, I guess like they really want to make sure I don't have Greenwood Outrider because Greenwood Outrider definitely kills them next turn. Okay, sure. Can I cast Kernon plus Greenwood? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I can't. Although that's still fine because I'm still super far ahead right now. So what can I flip off Vivian that just instantly wins the game? Ramsey is pretty good. Yeah, I take Ramsey here. Unfortunately, I still can't insta win the game right now, but letting my opponent take turns is actually kind of bad for me because it gets me further, like, it gives them time to just find the combo win. And like, I'm taxing them for 3, but it's just because I'm taxing them for a bunch doesn't mean like I'm actually in a good spot. They can definitely break out of the tax a lock. Anyways, I do want to flip Barton this turn just to make sure it doesn't die to random 2 damage removal. So what's my plan here? I can go Ramsey. Okay, flip Barton, so that's 1, 2, 3. Ramsey is 1, 1, 2. Pale Scouter is 1, 2. Sequencing is annoying. Oh, actually no, once I flip Barton, I think sequencing becomes a lot easier for me. Yeah, because then everything becomes reduced. And this taxes everything. Anyways, that means I can Ramsey for 1, and then, okay, yeah. And I'm pretty sure they can't cast anything right now, so I'm just going to play my cards. And I guess Vivian pluses again. Anyways, I should just, I have enough guys in the back. I'm just going to swing in with everything here. And I end my turn. They're going to crack the clue end of turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a 5/5. So they can start buying timing now. Like, they have enough mana to pay for it, I think. Did they find the board wipe? GG, okay, sure. Didn't expect it to go so well, but I see, yeah. They mulled down to 5 and then didn't have removal for my hate bears, it seems like. So it seems like I do have a game plan. Fortunate, yeah. Good luck against. Oh yeah, I do have a bad matchup against Sang too. But maybe it ends up working out anyways because I keep saying I have bad matchups, but somehow I won this game because my opponent got bad draws and I got exactly what I needed. So yeah, I won because my opponent misplayed in game 1 and then got bad draws in game 2. Anyways, I should probably look at the replays. Right, yeah, because let's see if they leave the game. They did. Okay, cool. So let's see. Game one. What did they have? Game one. Okay. So yeah, they had the combo in hand technically. So what? I could have waited until end of turn, or no, they could have waited until end of turn. Actually, why did they upkeep buy time? Like they know I had no ways of interacting with or preventing them from buy timing, right? So like this turn, did they know I have Kern on? No, they didn't. So they decided to upkeep buy time me. I don't know what they were playing around by doing that. I don't think there's anything that they were playing around by doing that because like the only thing that can actually affect whether they can cast buy time or not is Kernon. And if it is Kernon, then they have like enough time to react to it before it comes down. Or I guess they were worried about Tau from hand. No, even if it's Tau from hand, then they have a chance to respond before Tau resolves. So there was no reason to play buy time right now. And keeping up the mana would prevent me from, or at least make me second think jamming Kernon there. But like once they cast their first buy time, then they're tapped out, so I can just jam Kernon for no risk, and like get Kernon minus grab Tau, and then have that thing up. And once Tau was down, they can't. Okay, once Tau was down, they literally could not cast their second buy time, so they just had to Unrelenting. Actually, yeah, they were forced Unrelenting there because otherwise they can't cast buy time. And then I guess this turn they drew their land, and then yeah, that was their last buy time turn, so they lost. So they have won if they just waited on the buy time. Like assuming they didn't instantly buy time, I still play Kern on this turn, right? I there was no reason to jam Vivian into a possible counterspell, so I just yeah, right. My game plan right now was I had 5 mana this turn, so that means I can Kern on into a Root Corruption and pay for it. So then I was going to jam Kern on this turn no matter what, and seeing this hand, my opponent probably would not have countered it, or couldn't counter it, so then it resolves. And then I guess they try to end of turn, but what would I have Kern on there if... Actually, maybe I would have just Kern on minus for Tal there, even though my opponent didn't play buy time immediately, just to prevent buy time. Yeah, because Kern on minusing to grab Tal prevents them from untapping, or prevents them from buy timing at the end of my turn and then winning for free. Because then at least forces the removal out of them before they go for buy time combo. But I mean then so what? Kern on comes down, minus its grab Tau, and then my opponent doesn't play buy time. Instead, they just Unrelenting and wipe my Kernon, or wipe my Tau. And then in the turn afterwards, they can probably just do some chemical warfare, Unrelenting stuff, and like then they'll be in a much worse position. I guess like eventually I'll be able to jam Vivian. It didn't have any way to like counter Vivian, so the turn afterwards I would just jam Vivian into no opposition, and then hopefully Vivian stabilizes me. But like this game definitely would have been way closer in my opponent's favor if they just waited on the buy time. And then game 2, let me check. Then game 2, what? My opponent mulled to 5. What did they bottom? Did they just bomb? Okay, they bombed Sacred Sons on Unrelenting number 2, which is interesting because they had, I guess they really wanted at least one of the combo pieces in hand. I would have bought an all or nothing instead of the second Unrelenting because Unrelentings are better at multiples, right? And like Unrelenting is actually good at wiping my small guys. And what I kept opener with Tau and no 2 drops, and then okay, yeah, I just jammed Tau and then got counter. Actually, yeah, they were forced to Recorruption there because if Tau resolved, then Unrelenting wasn't coming in until they get to 4 mana. So, but like if they had the second Unrelenting instead of the all or nothing, then they could have just Unrelenting here for a tutor mode freely, and then the second Unrelenting gets the tutor mode and wipes the board, right? Or no, the -1/-1 mode doesn't actually wipe the hate beers I grabbed this game, but it would wipe the Nitrous Renewer, which means I'm forced to find another Kern on target. And okay, so my opponent was just hard setting up for the combo, it seems like. So they grab Unrelenting, and I mean, like, I guess it wasn't a bad plan because they were pretty close. Like, yeah, they were pretty close to the combo. I animate Lumbering Hillock, whack them, and then Henry. Okay, yeah, so here, I guess they waited on the Unrelenting here because they don't know what else I have. Like, technically, did they not? Okay, like, they could have actually Unrelenting and did the -1/-1 mode to wipe my Nitrous Renewer, which forces me to sack Lumbering Hillock to grab Barton, but I guess that's still, like, whatever for me because that's still really good for me. Then like, they grab Megalokraken because they have no better options. I feel like Megalokraken is still kind of iffy because it's not like they can free cast anything useful. off that thing. I do find it interesting that they didn't cast the buy time off Mega Kraken, or would that have worked out? No, it wouldn't have, because they were being taxed for 3 at this point. So like buy timing here would force them to actually draw into something. Yeah, it wasn't looking good for them. I guess they're like technically there are outs, right? Do they have board wipes in their deck anywhere? Not really actually. Okay, so yeah, I think like maybe my Kraken flips removal, and then they pay 3 mana to blow up one of my guys, and then that makes the tax slightly less bad for them, but they're still like in a really bad spot. So yeah. Wait, they were being taxed for 3, right? Okay, yeah. So yeah, they couldn't have cast these things. All right, but yeah, so that means I'm making it to the semifinals, which I wasn't expecting against this matchup, but yeah, hopefully I also do pretty well there.